Welcome back to Jaguar Sports Network as we have the 4-13 in Region 10 Flying Eagles from Southwest Virginia Community College matching up with the 3-16 in Region 10 play. Your Johnston Community College Jaguars. I'm Petey Doris alongside colleague Craig Green. We have tonight's matchup, the 10th-seeded Flying Eagles and the 11th-seeded Jaguars.
To the Richard B. Harrison Gymnasium for part 2 of today's doubleheader between the Flying Eagles of Southwest Virginia Community College and our Johnston Community College Jaguars. Again, if you are able, please stand and remove your hats for the playing of our national anthem. And now the starting lineups for our visitors, the Southwest Virginia Flying Eagles. A center, 6'6" from Abington, Virginia, number 34, Jacob Hall. A guard freshman from Immokalee, Florida, 6'2", number 21, Elijah Pierre. A wing player, freshman, 6'3", from Sumter, South Carolina, number 2, Khalil Peoples. At guard, 6'4", from Marion, Virginia, number 1, Grant Williams. And at guard, 6'1", from Sumter, South Carolina, 0, Corian Nelson. At forward, 6'7", from Bluefield, West Virginia, number 5, William Looney. The Flying Eagles are coached by David Mullins. And now, please welcome our Johnston Community College Jaguars. At guard from Goldsboro, North Carolina, 0, Jaden Dunn. At guard from Wake Forest, North Carolina, number 1, Elijah Preddy. At forward from Wilmington, North Carolina, number 2, Quan Johnson. At forward from Creedmoor, North Carolina, number 5, Michael Linton. And at forward from Raleigh, North Carolina, number 11, Quavon Anderson. The Jaguars are led by head coach Jay Creasy.
There's your starting lineups of the Jaguars and the Flying Eagles. Well, the Flying Eagles get shot down in Selma today. As I said, we have the 11th-seeded Jaguars and the 10th-seeded Flying Eagles in Region 10 play as the Eagles come in defeating the Jaguars just 2 weeks ago at Southwest Virginia Community College. So the opening tip will belong to the Jaguars. Let's see if Elijah Preddy can get some offense started for the Jaguars. Rolling around, looking for some distance, but pulling back down to Q Anderson. They'll lob it into Michael Linton, 14-footer, overshoots the goal, coming down a rebound as Peoples. Peoples pushes ahead in the front court. Over to Nelson. Nelson, long three to get the Flying Eagles. Shooters roll, no, and Peoples with the rebound and a block by Rechquan and back out. Grant Williams taking a cue to the hole, spins, turnaround, does not fall. Rechquan with the second rebound for the Jaguars, still knotted at 0. Q Anderson kicks it. Preddy 14 and rolls out, and Peoples with his offensive board, second rebound. Nelson pulls it back out with 20 on the shot clock. Williams with a turnover. .45 left, just a minute and 15 off the clock. The Eagles set up in a 1-2 man defense. Jaden Dunn. And Elijah Preddy off the left wing, and Preddy, long rebound to Johnston, hands it off to Q Anderson, and the Jaguars started just like that.
2-0 to get us started, PD. Just like you said, Q Anderson crashing the boards, puts the Jags in the front.
Great defense by Preddy. Nelson goes right side to Pierre. Grant Williams looking inside, but Pierre puts up a three off the heel of the iron. Dunn pulled him down to rebound as he leaps over the Flying Eagles. Preddy drives, kicks it right wing. Q Anderson for three, no. Third rebound by Khalil Peoples. Jaguars ahead 2-0. 2:35 off the clock here in the first half. Grant Williams going around the screen, kicking it to Looney. Back to Williams. Williams drives with 4 on the shot clock, puts up a spin around jump shot, and volleying and coming out with the rebound, Jaguars. Preddy kicks it. Q Anderson back out to Preddy. Preddy straightaway three. Jaguars and the Eagles slow start here to begin the opening 3 minutes, Craig.
And Peoples already with 5 rebounds of his own. He's been crashing the boards hard. No points at all for the Eagles. They really haven't had the chance to get their offense flowing.
Nelson looking inside. Goes to Looney, and Looney gets the first bucket for the Flying Eagles.
Took them almost 4 full minutes to get their first points of the game, but again, a slow start. Both teams. Still feels like the Jaguars are in more of control right now. They seem a little more comfortable here on their home floor.
Elijah Preddy trapped off, kicks it back out. Q Anderson drives, runner volleying, coming out with it is Pierre. Pierre ahead to Nelson. Nelson puts up a shot, and Peoples with the rebound. 6 rebounds for Peoples. Preddy 1-on-2, left-handed layup is good for Rechquan Johnson. Nelson goes right to the corner to Grant Williams for 3, and Williams in and out. Johnson with the rebound. Dunn looking at up the court, but no one there for the Jaguars.
Wants Linton in a certain spot. Linton was there to give him a screen, but he called it off.
Preddy Straightaway 17-footer good. Jaguars lead 6-2.
Nice and easy shot by Preddy. Got right there to the mid-range spot. That mid-range is still change.
Next net ball, Caleb Fuller will check in. First time for the Flying Eagles. Grant Williams, nice look from the left wing, and Elijah Preddy. Dunn, nice pass inside, but is off the heel of the Flying Eagle ahead. Peoples for three, no. Fighting, volleying, coming down with the rebound, Looney. Looney with the putback, and Looney with 4 points.
And Looney right on the spot, able to crash the boards offensively, fight off a couple Jaguars, put it back home.
Looney with 4 points. Both of them with putbacks.
Got to keep him off the boards.
Anderson looking inside to Linton. Linton double team over to Elijah Preddy, and Preddy couldn't connect. Nelson ahead to Peoples. Peoples taking Q Anderson to the hole. Late whistle, block and foul, and we're all tied at 6.
And basket will count for Peoples, just like you said, PD. And Q Anderson trying to draw that charge, still not given the benefit of the doubt.
Late whistle.
Peoples already with 6 rebounds, PD, in the first 5.5 minutes.
Peoples, the first lead for the Flying Eagles, 7-6. Jaguars have multiple opportunities offensive side of the ball. Unable to connect. Preddy drives, kicks it to the corner. Stepping on the sideline was Emmanuel McLean. Jaguars with their second turnover. 7-6 if you're just joining us. Jaguars get out ahead 2-0 in an opening minute. And the Flying Eagles track down the Jaguars with the helping hand of Peoples with the and one on Anderson.
Good defense by the Jaguars.
Nelson curls around, mid-range, no, and Linton pulls down the rebound. Elijah Preddy shuffles a pass to McLean. McLean dribbles, nice defense by Fuller to stab it out. Fuller left wing three, first opportunity is good. Just like that, Craig, 10-6.
Defense to offense for the Eagles as they force a turnover, and then they have the shooter wide open out on the wing. Purcell knocks it down. Correction, Fuller knocks it down.
8-0 run for the Flying Eagles. They lead 10-6. Fuller first opportunity from offensive side, and the same for McLean.
What a response by the Jaguars as McLean knocks it down. And Jags back within one. They get a few of those threes to fall, PD. They could put themselves in a nice position to win this game today.
Nelson drives, kicks at top of the key to Pierre. Pierre works the ball around the perimeter to the corner. Peoples for three. Just like that, 2 straight offensive boards. 2 offensive possessions, 6 points. 13-9.
Peoples is feeling it early and often. Up to 6 points and 6 boards already.
Three from the corners, off the mark and fighting for it, Q Anderson. 13-9, Q, 15-footer, does not fall. Peoples, both sides of the ball, stutter steps, top of the key, kicks it. Fuller wanted that chance, but hands it off to Looney for three. That's 3 straight threes, 16-9. Coach Jay Creasy calls the timeout as the Jaguars trail 16-9 at once. The Jaguars are up 6-2. It's a 14-3 run in the last 3.5 minutes for Southwest Virginia. It's 12:01 left. Craig, Jaguars need a great call by Coach Creasy to call a timeout. 3 straight possessions, walking away with 9 points. You have to guard the perimeter.
Have to, absolutely. And they're leaving shooters open, and that's what's led the Eagles to take this 7-point lead. Again, we saw 2 straight three-pointers. We saw a 3-point play and then 2 straight of your regular three-pointers from the wing. And now on this offensive possession for the Jags, got to find your spot on the floor and be able to get an advantageous shot here. Don't want to settle for a fadeaway jump shot with 5 on the shot clock.
16-9. The Flying Eagles in control here. It took the Flying Eagles almost a full 4 minutes to get their first bucket. And I tell you, that first 4 buckets at the 16-minute mark, the last 5, they put 16 on the board. Jaguars in trouble with 9 on the shot clock. Fuller pulls down the turnover, kicks it to Fafana.
4 turnovers now for JCC.
Fuller for 3, and it's in and out. Nice look as Fuller had it.
Way behind the line, too.
16-9, Jaguars not scored. Pretty for 3. Jaguars are 1 for 4 for the perimeter.
Taking a lot more threes early on than we're used to seeing them do. We're typically used to seeing Preddy and Dunn inside. Preddy's been outside on the perimeter a lot this early going in the first half.
Nice move by Jacob Hall. Unable to convert. McClain from the corner, his favorite spot, rattles out. Pulling down the rebound is Nelson. Nelson looking ahead. Sees the drive to the goal, and with a putback as Nelson misses, goes back up. And it's 18-9.
The lead continues to climb, PD. It was a 7-6 ball game, 11-3 run, making 11-5 run as Linton responds.
18-11, crossing midway through the first half. Only 1 foul, and that 1 foul was on Q Anderson. And we know why Q took the charge, but unable to get the charge.
We saw Maylani Patterson get 2 calls earlier today. Figured today was his day, but I guess not. He's been trying to get that call all season long. Refs have been unkind to Q.
Shot clock violation for the Flying Eagles. 18-11, we got a media timeout. Jaguars and Flying Eagles square off from Selma.
What you doing with your phone? Taking pictures?
No, I'm asking it questions.
Like what?
Hey, Bobo, do flowers have best friends?
I'm sorry. I'm afraid I don't know that.
Hey, follow me. I want to show you something. Look, flowers do have best friends.
Whoa.
Some answers can only be found in nature. Discover the unsearchable. Visit discovertheforest.org to find a trail near you. Brought to you by the United States Forest Service and the Ad Council.
Ben has Mama. In other words, my mom has been living with type 2 diabetes for almost 10 years. So together, we want to say to the 84 million Americans at risk, exercise and healthy eating can help reverse prediabetes. Start by taking a simple 1-minute risk test at doihaveprediabetes.org.
Brought to you by the Ad Council and its pre-diabetes awareness partners.
Bet he can't say that no further.
18-11, the Jaguars trail the Flying Eagles from Smithfield. It's the final doubleheader on JCC Jaguar Sports Network. On Tuesday, the Jaguars will face the Guilford Tech men at 7 o'clock right here on Jaguar Sports Network. Today is a doubleheader. We're in our second game as the Lady Jaguars defeated Brunswick to conclude the season sweep. 9:35 left, 18-11. Fuller travels, goes to Hall. Hall, 1, 3, 4 steps. Could not convert, gets his offensive board, and going back up. The Southwest Virginia bench is asking for a call.
Well, the call that should have happened was traveling to start us off.
And Linton with a 15-footer. Jaguars fighting back. Had an early lead and lost it. Led 6-2. Fuller weak side and going up and hitting the floor, but no call. McLean trailing was Linton, hands it off to Linton, and Linton with 4 straight points. Linton with 6 tonight.
And you see the Jaguars fighting their way back, PD. That's 4 straight. Correction, make that is actually a 6-0 run for the Jags. 6-0, they were down 18-9, 6 straight for JCC.
Inside the Hall, Jacob Hall spins, drive, put up. Good take by Jacob Hall.
He was really, really patient. Got a couple of Jags to go up with him. Was able to finally settle his feet and knock it down.
Not sure how Jacob Hall is playing with all the flopping hair. Is Pretty. Jaguars, 8 straight points. They trail 20-17. Dunn looking to put up the 10th straight point and off the side of the backboard and right in the hands of Pierre. Pierre pushes ahead to Lyles, and Lyles uses the glass, and it's 22-17. Southwest Virginia. Flying Eagles lead the Jaguars on Jaguar Sports Network. Craig, Jaguars has some flashes there. 8 straight points. Then Jaden Dunn comes down and hits the side of the backboard on the baseline, and the Jaguars give up a quick bucket to the Flying Eagles.
And Eagles are going to try to fly down the court, take advantage, and not let the Jags defense get set. And again, you know, they quelled that run by the Jaguars. Again, it was a nice run for JCC. I mean, 6 straight points to bring it to 18-15. But now we see the Eagles have kind of settled things down and are still trying to keep that 5-point advantage. It's a 2-possession game right now. Still plenty of time to go, but you know what I like right now is they're finding Linton down low and he's being able to operate. I want to see some more of that. Feed number 5 down low. Let him go to work here against Jacob Hall.
Feed 5 to get 5. It's like take 5. Feed me. Liza Preddy, corner by Q Anderson, and Q is out of his area code when he shot it, as Q loves the post.
A lot more threes today than we're used to seeing by JCC.
Nice kiss off the window for Elijah Pierre. 4-0 run for Southwest Virginia.
First points of the day for Pierre.
McLean for 3, contested. Great defense by Looney, but McLean able to get the shot off.
Second 3 for McLean as well. And a good shot. Wide open, confident, release, rotation, splash.
Looney catches the pass from Williams. Back to Looney in the corner, set 3. And Linton pulls down the rebound for the Jaguars. Linton with 4 rebounds. McLean steps in and could not connect, right in the hands of Nelson. Nelson coast to coast, and it's a 6-point lead. Flying Eagles soaring through the skies here in Selma. The Eagles lead 26-20.
Too many layups for the Eagles. Jaguars need to close off the inside and make them shoot bad jump shots.
Brady was trapped off, hands it off to Dunn. Dunn, cross court 3 for McLean, no, and coming down with the rebound, Williams up over, drops it off and hits the floor, turns it over. And Preddy pushes ahead, Dunn to Linton. Linton takes Hall straight to the goal, and the Jaguars trail by 4.
Good
5:36
pass.
left. Long 3, and I tell you, Grant Williams, leave him alone and he'll make you pay on the 3.
Back and forth action, PD. We go. Should be 29-24 on the scoreboard. They haven't fixed that yet. Oh, correction, 29-22. I had it wrong.
Williams with 2 threes here in the first half. Leads the way. .503 left. Singleton checks in for the Jaguars as Q Anderson will have a seat. Get a timeout. We're going to take it right with them. 29-22. You're listening to Jaguars Sports Network.
Looking for a weekend getaway? Sit back and relax. Event Management has you covered. Whether a golf weekend with your friends or a romantic getaway with your spouse, let's sit back and relax, plan your next trip. No matter how big or small your vacation travel needs are, SBR handles all of the details. All you have to do is show up. So just sit back and relax while the professionals at SBR take care of the rest. Visit SBRNC.com or call 919-264-8418 to get your vacation started.
(29-22). Flying Eagles are soaring their way through Selma as they lead the Jaguars with 5:03 left in the first half of today's doubleheader on Jaguar Sports Network. PD Doors, Craig Green here in the best seat in Selma right now, midcourt at the Richard B. Harrison Gymnasium.
Jags need to close this gap, PD. They're allowing too many shots at the rim by the Eagles. They're coming down and getting their own points, but they can't go down on the defensive end and surrender more than what they're giving up.
Done. There's the McLean in the corner, and Linton fighting and McLean with Linton with 10 points for the Jaguars.
And his 5th rebound to go along with it. He's doing an excellent job cleaning up the glass.
Williams runner rolls in and out. As Dunn pulls down a rebound, hands it off to Linton. Linton going to work, and an and one. Mike Linton with 12 points.
Doing his best work down low, PD. That's exactly what Michael Linton does. Fouls on Looney. That's his first, team first for the Eagles. But again, Linton, the leading scorer for the game itself, 12 points and 6 rebounds.
Gregory, Linton, Dunn, Preddy, and Singleton on the court for the Jaguars. Williams, Peoples, Fuller, Looney, along with Pierre for the Flying Eagles. Jaguars with the chance to tie with a 3. Kick it, Singleton for 3. No, and coming down with the rebound, Grant Williams. Williams taking it, dropping it off for Fuller. Fuller around, left-handed layup. Nice take by Fuller, 31-26.
Stops a brief run by the Jaguars. Now it's back to a 5-point deficit. McLean nearly got away with the travel. So did Preddy.
McLean could not convert. Correction, that was Linton. 31-26. Pierre shuffles one to the top of the key as Peoples looking for separation on Linton. Goes around the screen. Comes back, 13 on the shot clock, long 3. Singleton cradles the ball on the rebound. 31-26.
Not a good pass.
Nice double take pass, and falls for Elijah Pierre.
Fifth turnover by JCC led to that basket. Got to protect the basketball. You're trying to walk this lead down.
33-26. Michael Linton continues to climb for the Jaguars with 14.
And a turnover.
Dunn straight to the hole. Switches hands in the Jaguars within 1 possession. With 2:16 left, can the Jaguars get a stop against the Flying Eagles? Elijah Pierre over to Williams. Williams looking to swing it. Swings it right side for Fuller for 3. Kiss off the glass, and I tell you right there, Craig, I tell you, I'm going to cash my check after that shot. The bank is open in Selma.
Apparently so. I thought it was closed because of the day, but nope. Fuller reopened it just now.
Dunn coming around the screen, walks into a trap. Cross-court pass. Gregory straightaway three. Heel to iron. Linton with the long rebound. Fresh 20. Will the Jaguars slow down? No, they put up a shot. And we have a
got double text. Looks like it's against Peoples and against Linton. Getting a little testy here. So, of course, in the college game, that's going to count as a personal foul for each man.
We'll get the officials.
Linton actually drew a foul and was called for a technical as well. So 2 fouls on that exchange for Linton. You saw players stepping in quickly to break it up to let cooler heads prevail. You know, tensions are high. It's a competitive game. It's a competitive atmosphere. Both teams want to win this game. But you know, you got to keep your head if you're Linton. Don't get sucked into drawing silly technical fouls.
Especially when a game close like this with a lot on the line for the Jaguars. You're playing a 10th-seeded Flying Eagles from Southwest Virginia. You want to get the win because you've already dropped a game there. You don't want to get nothing that's going to jeopardize the postseason. You want to get a win right here, but, you know, I understand Michael Linton aggressively, you know, with Peoples boxing him out like that. Michael Linton's not used to somebody putting a body on him just like that. Peoples is underside. He had to go up against the big man to do what he had to do.
And, I mean, hey, Peoples is eating lunch down there today because he's got 9 rebounds as an undersized player already.
Williams, that was like 9 steps. Where was it? Grant Williams took a step from the 3 and never put the ball on the floor until he went up.
It's the world's largest Euro step.
That is not a Euro step. That's a flying across America.
It was 2 continents he went across.
Preddy in trouble. Kicks it. Gregory for 3. Jaguars are frustrated. Trailing by 8. 38-30. We're just 40 seconds left. And with it take, Caleb Fuller pushes the Flying Eagles up by 10. Elijah Preddy with the foul. This is the biggest lead for the Flying Eagles. Fuller cannot convert on the N1. Jaguars with the ball, 5 seconds separate the shot clock and the game clock. Preddy in and out. Johnston trying to fight with Looney. 19 on the shot clock. They'll search for 1 shot.
You hear Coach Mullins telling them just to pull it back and chillax. Let this clock run out. Don't give JCC another chance.
All they need is the momentum going into the break. Fuller with 3 on the clock. Taking it straight to the hole. And it falls for Looney as he went up with about 2 seconds. And it matches our biggest lead. 42-30. We'll come right back here with stats, facts, and figures after word from our sponsors.
He was the heart of your family, and he taught you our history. He helped you fix your first flat. He was the best backyard DJ around, and every time he'd tell a story, he'd own the room. But now more than ever, he may feel alone. Today, older adults and their loved ones are struggling to connect in a time when connection has never been more important. But there is something we can do. Embrace our older loved ones through StoryCorps Connect. With StoryCorps Connect, you can honor seniors remotely with an interview about their life. Every interview will be archived at the Library of Congress, becoming part of American history, so that years from now, future generations can listen in.
All right, Grandpa, what's one piece of advice you have for me?
Just 3 words, sweetheart. Live with courage.
The man that had the best stories still has plenty of stories to tell. So connect virtually and share the conversation of a lifetime at StoryCorpsConnect.org/AARP. Connect, honor, share. StoryCorps Connect. A message from AARP, StoryCorps, and the Ad Council.
Jaguars trail 42-30 against the Southwest Virginia Community College Flying Eagles. PD Doors, Craig Green here from Selma. Craig, first half by the Jaguars, sparks of life, and then there was some flaws in life.
Sure it was. I mean, what really ailed them was not being able to crash the offensive boards. I mean, right now the rebounding edge goes to the Eagles, 25-20, and also they're shooting a lot better from the field. They're getting better shots. They're knocking down their threes. I've seen the Jags settling for more three-point shots than I'm used to seeing. I've seen Elijah Preddy behind the line more than I've seen him in any game this season, and he's only, starting off with 2 points. The combination of Dunn and Preddy, PD, just 6 points in the first 20 minutes. Those are their two danger guys on the outside. They're going to need them to step up and help out Michael Linton. Michael Linton really having a good game so far this first half.
If you take Michael Linton out of this game of the Jaguars, it's pretty much be academic, because Michael Linton with 12 points so far and 8 rebounds, the Jaguars would be catching themselves farther in the hole. But right now, like you said, Craig, Jaguars haven't seen much from the perimeter so far tonight.
They've been the victim of a couple of big runs by Southwest. I mean, Southwest has hit them with an 8-0 run, a 6-0 run, and that's what's led to this 12-point lead at the half. Jags got to close the deficit, see if we can go 2 for 2 here, men and women today.
As Peoples playing very well for the Flying Eagles. Peoples with 6 points, Fuller with 10, and Jacob Hall with 2, Pierre with 4. Most everyone has seen the court other than Pruitt has scored for Southwest Virginia.
And again, the combination of Jaden Dunn, Elijah Preddy, PD, just 6 points and 6 rebounds between the two guards. So can they take the pressure off of Linton to a score inside and to hang and bang down low? Now we got Johnston and Linton in there together with Hugh Anderson. I like this lineup.
Set the lineup for you to start second half. Preddy, Dunn, Anderson, Johnson, and Linton. For the Flying Eagles, they get the ball to start. They got Nelson, Peoples, Pierre, along with Grant Williams and Looney. Williams for 3, and you can count it. 15-point lead. 45-30. Elijah Preddy driving, Euro step, kicks it to Linton, baseline, in and out. And Johnson rebounds and goes up off his leg. Turnover, Jaguars. Just crossing the 1 minute mark here in the second half as Williams kicks it left side to Nelson, back to Williams. Spin the ball, baseline, Pierre. Williams, guarded tightly by Dunn, is stabbed out from behind by Jaden Dunn. Stays right with the Flying Eagles as they're soaring their way through Selma.
11 seconds on the shot clock, though. Can they operate and function with that at 11 seconds to get a good shot off? Can the Jags play good enough defense to force a turnover?
Looking inside with 7 on the shot clock. Peoples over to Nelson. Nelson for 3. Linton with the rebound. One thing I like about the Flying Eagles compared to JCC and the Flying Eagles are using the entire shot clock. As for the Jaguars, are coming down, either turning the ball over or forcing up a shot too quick. And 3 on the floor as Peoples for the Flying Eagles grabbing his left knee. For the Jaguars is Q Anderson and Johnson.
And hopefully Peoples will be okay. You could hear the thud on the floor.
You didn't know the
Foul
wall
against
was
Anderson.
that close. Johnson and Q Anderson popping up. So Peoples trying to walk it off. 45-30. Flying Eagles lead.
Looks like he should be able to shoot his free throws. Talking over the protocol for if there's a player who is injured, who can pick who's going to shoot. Now, Coach Creasy is going to be able to decide. He's got to come out for a play here, and they're going to let Elijah Pierre shoot the free throws on behalf of Peoples.
(45 to 30, 18:29 left. Pierre will try to get it, start the second half with 2 free throws. Pierre's first, falling off the front of the iron.
So far, so good for Coach Creasy picking Pierre to shoot the free throws. 0 for 1.
1 for 1 from the charity stripe. 46-30. Jaguars trail by 16. Dunn searching for his 6-point. Stops top of the key and finds it. 46-32.
Jaguars needed that bucket really badly, but then they give up an easy bunny underneath to Pierre back on the other end.
48-32. 17:50 left. Game slowing down here in the second half. First half, the first 10 minutes flew by. Anderson drives, puts up a floater, and coming down with the rebound, Caleb Fuller. Trapped off in the backcourt. Fuller almost tries to turn it over, and they turn it over. Here comes Preddy. Shots blocked. And it was great defense by Caleb Fuller as he threw Preddy's shot to the stands.
Then you saw the rebound by Looney, and then Q Anderson fouls Looney, grabbing the rebound. Play called over here, Peter, you can hear it on our side. Double D by Coach David Mullins.
See double D, Fuller. Back out top to Looney. Looney searching. 11 on the shot clock as Looney kicks it to Fuller. Fuller spins. Trailing, nice pass. Back out to Looney. Searches Pierre on the right side. Does not fall. Fighting with the rebound is Grant Williams with the pass. Williams should have went straight up, as you can see, Coach Mullins. He should have went straight up.
Jags made the Eagles use the entire shot clock, but the disappointing, and they got the result they wanted, which was a miss, but the result they didn't want was an offensive board for Southwest.
17 on the shot clock. 48-32, and Southwest Virginia with a turnover.
Each team doing a pretty good job protecting the basketball right now. 15 turnovers in total, PD. 7 for the Jags, 8 for Southwest.
Elijah Preddy, the double screen, top of the key. Trying to get Jaden Dunn with one defender is Q Anderson on the right wing inside to Linton. Linton going up as he took Caleb Fuller straight up. The Jaguars are just 4 points here in the first 4 minutes. Williams back out to Nelson. Over to Looney. Looney for a 15-footer. Great ball movement, 50-34. Flying Eagles are soaring their way right through Selma.
They keep answering every bucket JCC gets. And that's helping to keep this lead to where it is and actually kind of grow it some.
Preddy from the right wing, count it. 50-37. If you're looking at Southwest Virginia with a 9-15 overall, 4-13 in Region 10 play, you can't tell me we got an offensive foul on Nelson as Q Anderson takes the charge.
He finally got one.
And only taken 19 games
Right.
to get the charge.
We might have to name the restricted area for Quavon Anderson because he is, you know, making guys pay rent down there to him. And unfortunately, referees have not been giving him the benefit of the doubt. But he got it right there. Good job, Q Anderson.
We'll take a look at it. Southwest Virginia Flying Eagles, 4-13 in Region 10 play. Playing a whole lot better than their record today as they the 13-point lead over the Jaguars.
Just executing a lot better.
Looney ahead to Pierre. Pierre falls to the floor looking for a foul. Could not get the call. It's done. Drops it off and a weak pass to Q Anderson fighting, and coming out with it is Johnston. Pretty hands it off to Linton. Linton, elbow shot's good.
Michael Linton feeling it today. 16 points for the big man. Keep on feeding him.
Fuller says, you give me distance, I'll make you pay. Missing the shot, but Looney with the putback for 15, too hard. Fighting, and coming out with it is Nelson for three, good.
Can't give them that many chances.
3 offensive boards, counts for 3 points. 53-39, Southwest Virginia leads the Jaguars, with Southwest Virginia calling the timeout, Craig. Like you said, you can't give them that many opportunities and that many chances because they'll make you pay every time. You know, the difference, and I've said it all season long, and I'll still preach it going in. The Jaguars do not crash the boards at all. They shoot before the ball's off the rim. They're down the court.
Got to stay back and follow your shot. I mean, you got to stay down there as well and box out, and do not let any Eagles penetrate inside your low area. Because, again, you see how they're crashing the boards and how they're using that to their advantage. I mean, we've got a guard in Peoples out-rebounding our big guys. I mean, Peoples is 4 points and a rebound away from a double-double.
If I was Coach Creasy, I'd get the gun out every game, and I would literally put up hundreds and hundreds of shots. And I wouldn't even try to make the shots. I would just put them up for rebound. Any person that shot the ball, and if their back was against the goal that they just shot from, had the back, they would run till they couldn't breathe. Q Anderson gets slammed to the floor by Jacob Hall, doesn't get the call. Jaguars come up empty on the offensive possession. Nelson
10th rebound.
over to Pierre. Pierre looking inside of Jacob Hall. And off of the Jaguar, stays right with the Eagles. Great decision by Jacob Hall to throw it back in off of the Jaguar. We got a media timeout. 53-39, 13:43 left. Your Jaguars trail the Flying Eagles.
Sit back and relax. Your all-inclusive event management and travel planning company. Visit sbrnc.com or call 919-264-8418 to start planning your next adventure.
Looking for a weekend getaway? Sit back and relax. Event Management has you covered. Whether a golf weekend with your friends or a romantic getaway with your spouse, let's sit back and relax, plan your next trip. No matter how big or small your vacation travel needs are, SB.
Welcome back to Jaguar Sports Network. 53-39, Jaguars trail with the ball. Eagles underneath their goal, trying to get it in, looking for Jacob Hall. They'll pull it all the way back out. In the hands of Nelson, with McLean in after the last dead ball. It's Preddy working the 4 possession on defense. Great defense by Preddy for the Jaguars on the entry pass from Khalil Peoples.
And just 3 on the shot clock, squeezing all the time away from the Eagles.
Fuller for three and a buzzer.
Ugh.
That's 2 straight threes. They lead by 17.
Just when you thought the Jags could walk it down, they've been made to pay.
56-39.
And there's Preddy in the corner for three. Finally gets one to go, PD. He needed that one badly. 56-42.
Hall shot is stripped, but they regain the control as Fuller had a great opportunity, but put the shot up too early. Johnston to the corner for Preddy. That's his second three of the half. 56-42. 12:28 left.
Dunn got the rebound that time. Here's Preddy for three, PD. 3 in a row for Elijah Preddy.
And the Jaguars within 11. 6-0 run by the Jags, 56-45.
Listen and imagine. It takes 5 seconds to send a text, and for those 5 seconds, you're driving blind. Life is worth more than a text. Stay alive. Don't text and drive.
Visit StopTextStopWrecks.org, a message brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, Project Yellow Light, Noise, and the Ad Council.
1 in 3 adults in America have prediabetes, but most don't know it. To let people know it can be reversed before it becomes type 2 diabetes, professional basketball player Julius Randle is doing everything in reverse.
I'm only dunking with reverse windmills. I drove the whole way to practice in reverse. I don't recommend it. This move's called the reverse shuffle. I do recommend it. And it took me months to learn how to speak in reverse, like this. Years 10 almost for diabetes type 2 with living Ben has mama. In other words, my mom has been living with type 2 diabetes for almost 10 years. So together.
Welcome back as Jaguars flashing with some run here. They trail by 8, 56-48.
It was a 50-34 ball game, PD. The Jags have walked it down. 14-6 run by JCC to close this to within an 8-point deficit. Then good feet by Preddy to chase down that rebound. McLean for three, no. Tapped up, Linton got the offensive board, he's fouled.
Linton's all over the court for the Jaguars so far. In this half.
They're calling a foul against Caleb Fuller. It's going to be in the act of shooting, so Linton at the line for 2. Linton with a double-double, PD, 16 points, 10 rebounds. But he misses the first free throw. Tight game like this, you got to have them. See Peoples back on the court as well. That's his 11th board of the game. 0 for 2 for Linton from the line.
It's done. Preddy, almost turns it over, but Dunn tries to answer. Get Johnston down low, and the Jaguars are getting big as they trail by 6, 50-56.
Jaguars fighting back, starting on the defensive end. Oh. Peoples got the roll that time, and that ends a big run by the Jags. 59-50 with 11 to go. Oh, and then a foul called on the shot by Linton. And this time it was Hall fouling Linton on the fadeaway jump shot. Should be 2 free throws coming up for the big man.
So Jaguars are getting big, and that's exactly where we talked about them getting big at down low with Johnston and Linton, and Q Anderson. There should be no one that just controls the post position with those three in for the Jaguars.
Yeah, the Eagles do have a lot of long players, a lot of long, tall players, but they do have some size. They do have some gravity. They do have the lower centers of gravity with the bigger hips and the wider hips. They should be able to kind of just get big and push these Eagles players out of the way, as you see Looney coming back into the game as well. But that's going to be a premier matchup, I think, trying to keep Looney off the boards.
The Jaguars down by a 7. You hear the bench coming alive for the Jaguars. Down by 7, 59-52 with 10 minutes left to the corner, and Khalil Peoples back to a 10-point lead. Here Coach David Mullins for Southwest Virginia, trying to get his team pumped up. Dunn, step back 3. Off the heel of the iron. Nice look by Dunn. They hand it off to Fuller. Fuller over to Nelson. Nelson drives, kicks it to the corner. Pierre for 3, in and out. Dunn coming up short. Pierre with the rebound and off of the leg of Johnson.
Good awareness by Pierre to throw the ball off of Johnson and to keep the possession for the Eagles. But halfway through this second half, Petey, the Jags are fighting back, but they still find themselves back down again by 10. Let's see some more of that formula they had that brought this game back to 56-50 when they were down 50-37.
Grant Williams drives, great defense, but Elijah Preddy called for the foul and one, as Grant Williams had the position on Elijah Preddy.
But he couldn't stop him on his way to the basket, and now once again the lead is starting to grow.
Making an old-fashioned and one, 65-52.
Offensive board for Singleton.
Long rebound for Singleton, but he goes back out and they work the ball back down low, and the Jaguars are getting big, and Creasy calls a timeout as they trail 65-54. But Creasy calling timeout because he's wanting to tell these kids that, hey, the plays work if we just run them properly.
And you see him in the middle of the huddle now, really trying to grill his guys and tell them, look, stay down, stick with the plan. If you listen to what we've got going on here in this huddle, you can walk this lead down and take the lead. There's plenty of time to do that. 11 points is not an insurmountable deficit by any stretch of the imagination. These kids, they've got the ability to do it. They just got to go out there and do it.
54 points for the Jaguars. They trail 65-54. You listen to Jaguar Sports Network. Petey Norris, Craig Green here. We got one more game this season for the Jaguars, and that game will be on Tuesday night, and it's sophomore night for the Jaguars. We'll have all the coverage right here. Sophomore night and the game kicking off at 7 o'clock. We'll do sophomore night about 6:30. And we have a blocking foul on Johnson as he tried to draw the foul, the offensive on Grant Williams.
Well, Johnson was caught shuffling his feet, and good awareness by Williams to take it to the defender. Again, Johnson couldn't get his feet set to draw the offensive foul.
65-54. Makes the first. A 12-point lead. Makes both free throws and makes them pay as Williams with 4 straight points.
And Linton back into the game now will replace Johnson. I think Creasy wants to rotate his big guys to try to keep at least one on the floor for the final 9 minutes.
67-54. Peretti putting it on the floor, kicking to Singleton. Singleton, drive, bounce, passes it over to Gregory. Gregory loses it from behind. They push it in the front court. 2-on-2, and I tell you, William Looney with the and one.
And Freddie caught out there trying to guard Looney, and he couldn't do it, and another foul call, another continuation. This lead back up to 15 now.
(69-54), 8:46 left. Jaguars need to answer quick. They plan on getting back into this game. Gregory over to Singleton. Singleton shuffles, passes over to McLean. McLean inside to Linton. Linton standing 17 feet from the goal. Left side, McLean. McLean with three.
It's McLean's third three of the game, PD. 3 for 3 from outside. Or correction, third three of the game, is first of the second half.
Check out Southwest Virginia, 18 on the shot clock, and go inside on the mismatch. Step back, turn around, and he could not convert. Grant Williams as he's guarded tightly by Singleton. Dunn stops, puts it back on the floor, goes up, and we're within 10.
Good take by Dunn. That's how you do it when the long range isn't working for you. Bring it inside. Jags already got a three-point offense out there right now. But you just got to score whatever you can get.
69-59, 7:36 left. Singleton with the foul.
And another one in the act of shooting. So again, every time the Jags start to try to walk it down a little bit, someone scores a bucket or somebody gets fouled and sent to the line.
Nelson makes the first.
Got every part of the rim on that one.
Second with nothing but nylon. You hear the snap of the net. 71-59, 7:31 left.
Shooters all over the floor for the Jaguars right now. McLean, Gregory, Singleton.
There it is. Gregory misses the opportunity for the Jaguars. Fuller ahead to Looney, spans, kiss off the glass, too flat, but Williams there to pick it up. Two bodies on the floor. Jaguars 3-on-1 to Johnston, and Johnson falls.
Linton again. That's 20 points for Linton.
Grant Williams from the corner, in and out, but fighting and going up with a rebound and a putback. Nelson.
Got to keep them off the board, so not doing a good enough job of that. I mean, you got what you wanted on this possession here, 2 chances, and you got a bucket, but you got to stop them as Alvin Singleton hits his first 3 of the game.
73-64. Grant Williams. Singleton goes through the screen. Williams back out to Looney for 3. Off the heel of the iron. Dunn. Jaguars with a chance to start a 5-0 run. Dunn in the paint. And we have a foul.
Williams caught Dunn. Is it in the act of shooting? They're going to say it was, so free throws coming up for Jaden Dunn. See if the Jaguars can bring this within 7 if Dunn can knock these 2 free throws down.
Dunn makes the first.
Box fellas, got box. Will, got a box.
Dunn searching. Finds his 10th point. 73-66. The Jaguars within 7. Preddy and Johnston checks in, and next dead ball for the Jaguars.
Got to clamp down defensively here if you're JCC.
Can't leave nobody open in the perimeter because they will straight make you pay.
They're playing man-to-man defense now.
Peoples, nice defense by Dunn.
Preddy got big against Peoples and made him try to look over the top of Jaden when he shot over it. And good job, 11 seconds on the shot clock.
Gregory and McLean exits.
It's brought in an extra rim protector in Rich Quan Johnson.
Great defense, but count it.
Ooh.
As Pierre makes the 3 and he's fouled.
My goodness, fouling a three-point shooter. Again, the things you don't want to see happen when you're trying to make a comeback is fouling a guy on the perimeter. And then now he makes the 4-point play. Just a deflating series right there for the Jaguars.
77-66. Jaguars within 7. Now catch herself down by 11. Dunn couldn't answer back after fouling the 3-point play. Nice span and take. And he is fouled, and it'll send Caleb Fuller to the line.
Jaguars having a hard time stopping the Eagles in transition. When they get a move, when they get a roll on down here, they're hard to get in front of and to block off. And you can see it right there where Fuller knocks down the free throw.
Let me get your roll on. Elijah Preddy will exit as Anderson checks in. 5:19 left, Jaguar Sports Network, Southwest Virginia. Flying Eagles lead the Jaguars by 12. Singleton inside to Johnson. Johnson driving baseline, nice take. Draws the foul on Khalil Peoples.
It's only 2 on Peoples. His first was the technical. So Linton to the line here with a chance to get the Jaguars within 10. Then the final 5 minutes here, it's gonna have to be a race in perfection, or an exercise in perfection rather. See if they can walk this down, maybe force overtime.
He makes one of the free throws. 78-67. As Looney misses one, gets on rebound, and an offensive foul. And Looney.
Can you believe it? Another offensive foul called that goes the Jaguars' way. It's turnover number 12 for the Eagles. Jags have only turned the ball over 10 times, PD, but they have not shot the ball well enough and not rebounded well enough. And that's why they're down by 11.
Nice kick to the baseline to pull it back out. 16 on the shot clock. Jaguars moving the ball as Q Anderson's runner's good.
Got to have that. Coach Creasy calls a quick timeout.
78-69. We're going to take it with them. Jaguars trail the Flying Eagles.
Listen and imagine. It takes 5 seconds to send a text, and for those 5 seconds, you're driving blind. Life is worth more than a text. Stay alive. Don't text and drive.
Visit StopTextStopWrecks.org, a message brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, Project Yellow Light, Noise, and the Ad Council.
78-69, Jaguars are in single-digit deficit against the Southwest Virginia Flying Eagles. 4:29 left. Craig, What do the Jaguars need to do to be victorious today?
Starts here with a full court press, I think, coming out of this timeout. You know, you want to make it as hard on the Eagles as possible to get the ball up the court. Got to play defense and come down and get easy baskets on offense. Rinse and repeat.
Left all alone. Pierre in the corner, and he misses a three. Dunn with the rebound.
9 rebounds for Jaden Dunn. He's on his way to a double-double as well.
Anderson stops, gets blocked.
You could hear the collective groan from the Eagle bench as everyone in navy blue thought that was a clean block.
78-69. Q Anderson makes the first. .407 left. Jaguars, Q knew it right when he shot. Jaguars down by 8. The Jaguars have a 4-minute run in them. Pierre guarded tightly by Rejquan Johnson. Great defense. Johnson draws the foul, hits the floor along with Pierre.
I think there's some perspiration down there they may need to clean up because Johnson looked like he slipped and fell more than anything else as Pierre went up in the air for the shot. Now Elijah Pierre going to the line for looking for points 12 and 13.
Craig, I tell you, we've said this multiple games this season. The crowd, I mean, it's so quiet in this gym right now, you can't even tell it's a basketball game.
Can't tell it's a home game. I mean, you know, want to disrupt the opposing team as much as possible. I mean, you watch games at places like Cameron Indoor Stadium, you know if you're the visitor, you are not welcome.
50% on the trip from the charity stripe, and Elijah Preddy, quarterback in offense, is Dunn, moves off the ball. Dunn taking Pierre to the hole, and it counts.
Good job, Jaden Dunn. Timeout quickly by Coach Creasy.
79-72. Jaguars need a stop right here and get another quick bucket. They need to score one more time before we hit 3 minutes with 3:27 left. Jaguars need a stop and get a quick bucket.
I want to see what kind of full court press, if any, they come out with here in this next possession, PD. I really like the kind of full court press where you do not press the inbounder, where you have 5-on-4 trying to receive the basketball. I think that's the best way to play this coming out. We'll see what Coach Creasy decides to do. You know, he knows his players, you know, like the back of his hand, but again, you saw what happened the last time they pressed. They came down and were able to break the press and get a wide open shooter here in the corner. That's why I think they should not guard the inbounds pass whatsoever. Have 5 players out here on the floor against the 4 receiving Eagles.
79-72, 7-point game, 3:27 left. Flying Eagles with the ball after the made Jaden Dunn layup.
And now the Eagles have to go the entire length of the floor. So, again, you see it now. The Jaguars pressing. No one on the inbounds pass. Smart move by Coach Creasy.
They'll get it in to Grant Williams. It's a fall back in the man defense. Williams trying to take Q Anderson off, break his ankles. Q Anderson rolls through the screen.
Williams.
Set by Pierre.
Eagles are more than content to run the shot clock down. It's under 10 now.
No one's flashing through the paint as Williams drives on Q Anderson. Stops, 15-footer, and nothing but Flying Eagles soaring with the rebound and lose it right to Singleton. Jaguars got their stop. Now they need to go get a quick bucket. Trailing by 7 He cannot turn it over. Nelson driving up and under, misses the layup and out of bounds off of Jaden Dunn.
Dunn couldn't grab it. He tried to. I saw him mouth it to his teammates saying, my fault. He tried to grab the ball, couldn't get a hold of it, and 24 on the shot clock now for Southwest with 2.5 to go. This is the final stretch. You got to have it now if you're JCC.
Grant Williams hands it off to Fuller. .12 on the shot clock. Jaguars not put no close defenses. Whew, Q Anderson fighting, and Johnston with a two-handed slam.
That's the spark you needed right there if you are JCC. Great defense by Q Anderson to force Williams all the way across the timeline, diving on the floor, finds Linton for the flush. Dunk you very much.
79-74. Craig, we got 2 minutes and 11 seconds left. Jaguars peaking right now. But like we say, every time you need to stop, you need to stop, you need to stop. You don't need no three.
Give me that same exact defense on the inbounds. The only thing I want to see different is that I want to see tighter coverage on these receivers as they're trying to get the ball in bounds. I loved it that Coach Creasy put no one on the passer, and you got to have 5 guys against these 4 Eagles here. Somebody playing safety, everyone else playing man, and then you go after it. If they get the ball in bounds, then you give them no rest, no quarter, no space. But keep your hands off of the ball handler. Do not foul any shooters. You know what? Honestly, let them shoot, go crash the boards.
79-74, 2:11 left. Jaguars trail by 5, 2 possessions. That's all the Jaguars need to do. 2 quick stops.
We got a ball game, PD. I mean, we were looking before like this thing may have been academic, but guess what? The Jags have not quit, and they are right back in this game. Look how tight they are now. Look at Singleton.
Singleton's right on the hip of Nelson. Nelson gets across the timeline.
Watch your hands, Alvin.
Caleb Ford drives. Q Anderson.
What?
Does not get the charge.
Sorry, folks. That was, I mean, I don't know how much you want Quavon to do there. I mean, he had his feet set. He's outside the area. That was the complete recipe for an offensive foul, and you didn't get the call.
Makes the first. 80-74.
Q's got to be careful because he's got 4 fouls.
6-point lead, Southwest Virginia inside 2 minutes.
You don't have to have a 3 right now. You just need to score. But you have to do it quickly.
Singleton for 3, and it's good.
Big 3-pointer. You had to have it. Alvin Singleton gave it to you. Great move to avoid the defender. And look at the Jags bench. They're excited.
80-77, as Singleton would have got his stuff thrown all the way to Raleigh if he would have shot on the first one by Caleb Fuller. But I tell you, Fuller went off his feet. That's one thing you don't want to defend. You don't want to do as a defender, leave your feet. And that's exactly what Caleb Fuller thought. I mean, he was going up. You know, Singleton wanted the first look, step back off the one dribble in, step back, buried the 3. Now we got a 3-point game.
Smart play by Singleton and good awareness by number 3 to hit a 3 for JCC, bring this thing within 1 possession, 1:37 to go. Now again, give me that same defense on the inbounds pass.
80-77 Jaguars will be defending in a full court press. With 1:37 left. As they'll be guarding the ball on the inbound is Dunn. is right on the baseline with Peoples. Baseline wide open, draws the and one. Anderson picks up his 5th.
Oh, man. Q knows it, too. He knew it. Couldn't give that one up. He was trying his best to defend against Fuller. Fuller got 17 points on the day. That's a huge bucket, and that takes out one of the sophomore players, one of the more experienced guys for JCC. Now with a minute and a half to go, down by 5, make it 6. You got to tighten it up. You got to do it without Q now for the minute and a half.
(83-77). And a foul on Pierre.
He was impeding the process of Elijah Preddy of Jaden Dunn trying to run through. And now we got a 1-and-1 for Dunn. You have got to make the first free throw. Got it.
Dunn makes the first.
$13 points in the day for Jaden Dunn to go along with 9 rebounds.
Making both free throws. Jaguars within 5.
Look at the defense. Look at the Jaguars with the steal, Petey. McClain and Singleton. And timeout by Singleton. Fantastic job. The referee's talking it over. Did Singleton call timeout, or are they calling a jump ball? Because our clock shows, our scoreboard shows that the Jags don't have any timeouts up. You call a timeout, you don't have any. That's a technical foul. Creasy's saying there should be a jump ball. He's saying Singleton didn't call timeout.
So we'll see what the exact call was.
High drama here in Selma. So what they're going with is that a timeout was called. The Jaguars did not have one. Therefore, again, it is a technical foul on the Jaguars as a team. And Nelson will go to the line to shoot 2.
He misses the first on a technical foul.
That's huge. Let's hear this gym get loud here.
Makes 1 of 2. It's 84-79. As you can hear, Coach David Mullen says their ball.
Timeout for Southwest. This has been a really eerie last 45 seconds or so, PD. But my gosh, what a game! What a it looks like we're set up for a really good finish, I think, here at the Richard B.
Yeah, down by 5, 84-79. Like in the first half, it was Jaguars to start, but then Southwest Virginia put on a run and were up by 12 at halftime, 42-30. And then since the second half, Jaguars put a lot more effort in the second half as they trail by 5. They have not seen a lead since they led 6-4.
Yeah, 1 point, PD. We're looking at a 10-point game, 66-76. Jaguars have walked it down and now just trail by only 5.
Jaguars will get the ball with 1:11 left.
Got to get something quick.
Get into Singleton. Singleton's trapped off and top of the key for McClain, and his 3 is good.
Big bucket by McClain. Gotta have it. You got it. And there's a steal.
With the steal. Jaguars lay it up And with the answer back, done. And we're tied at 84. 53 seconds left. Southwest Virginia, great defense by Singleton. Lays it up, gets his own rebound. Fight with it. Jaguars coming out with it, and going up is Looney. 86 to 84. 33 seconds left. 4 seconds separated game clock and a shot clock. Jaguars with no timeouts. Preddy to McLean.
One-on-one, man-to-man defense now.
Preddy drives, kicks it. Johnston baseline. No shot, does not fall. And we have a foul on Elijah Preddy. He'll shoot 2 with a 2-point lead.
9 seconds to go, and you need a miss badly here. 9.5 exactly put on the clock. Linton had the shot, not a bad bucket, not a bad attempt, but instead he couldn't knock it down, and Nelson at the line to shoot 2. Oh, he misses the first. The door is open for JCC. You see there's 4 Eagles back, Peter. They're not even trying to rebound this basketball. They want to get back and set up defensively here. Now, Coach Creasy has no timeouts. They have got to go.
87-84, coming down, counted down with us with 7. Who will shoot? Dunn, straight to the hole, lays it up.
Thought they would set up for the final attempt there, Petey, but instead they decided to go for 2. It took too much time. Now you got 1.4 on the clock with no timeouts. So what's the strategy here? You know, if you're Coach Mullins, do you want to knock down the free throws, or do you want to just throw it off the rim and let the clock start because you're up by 1? And the Jaguars, even if they make these 2 free throws here, they got to go the entire length of the floor and shoot it from full court to tie the game. If I'm Coach Mullins, I just tell Fuller, throw it off the glass and make the clock start.
Makes the first. 88-86. The Jaguars shot does not count, and that's the final. 88-86. The Jaguars fall against Southwest Virginia. We'll come back here and get a quick word from Coach Creasy right after this.
He was the heart of your family, and he taught you our history. He helped you fix your first flat. He was the best backyard DJ around, and every time he'd tell a story, he'd own the room. But now more than ever, he may feel alone. Today, older adults and their loved ones are struggling to connect, in a time when connection has never been more important. But there is something we can do. Embrace our older loved ones through StoryCorps Connect. With StoryCorps Connect, you can honor seniors remotely with an interview about their life. Every interview will be archived at the Library of Congress, becoming part of American history, so that years from now, future generations can listen in.
All right, Grandpa, what's one piece of advice you have for me?
Just 3 words, sweetheart. Live with courage.
The man that had the best stories still has plenty of stories to tell. So connect virtually and share the conversation of a lifetime at StoryCorpsConnect.org/AARP. Connect, honor, share. StoryCorps Connect. A message from AARP, StoryCorps, and the Ad Council.
SBR handles all of the details. All you have to do is show up. Need help planning your next sporting event? Sit back and relax. Event Management has got you covered. Whether a charity call, fundraiser, a preseason showcase, or a regular season game day operation, let Sit Back and Relax handle the details. Single game, tournament, and full season event planning and logistics services available. No matter how big or small, SBR has you covered. Just sit back and relax while the professionals at Sit Back and Relax take care of the rest. Visit SBRNC.com or call 919-264-8418 to get started.
Welcome back. As it did not end the way the Jaguars wanted it to, falling 88-86 against Southwest Virginia and falling to 3-17 in Region 10 play, 5-18 overall. But it did come down to the wire there at the end. But, you know, not maintaining the proper, you know, timeouts, giving up the technical foul, free throw. They made one, missed one. The momentum was the Jaguars' way. Didn't fall the way the Jaguars thought. The Jaguars catch themselves losing another one in Region 10 play.
The only thing I think they should have done differently in the final stretch, Petey, the final 9.5 seconds, was they had 9.5 on the clock after the free throw. And instead of looking for the 3 to tie, they went for the quick 2, but it took them 7 seconds to get that 2. And then you had to turn around and foul right away. You fouled with 1 second left on the clock, but then again, you left yourself with a hope and a prayer. And you saw right there the basketball gods blocked the shot because it hit the awning at the top and knocked it down. So, again, you know, lesson learned for the Jaguars. I think, you know, you find yourself in this position next time, I think they'll execute better.
The Jaguars fall 88-86. You got a final individual stats for the Jaguars?
So for the Jags, they were led today by Michael Linton, had a double-double, 21 points, 10 rebounds for the big man. Jags also were led by Jaden Dunn, 16 points, 10 rebounds himself, so a double-double for Jaden Dunn, 14 points, 3 rebounds for Preddy, and 12 points for Emmanuel McLean. He hit 4 three-pointers. He had some really big threes in the second half. Also, 6 points for Alvin Singleton, 7 points for Quavon Anderson, who fouled out with 4 rebounds, and 4 points for Regquan Johnson, who combined that with 6 boards. And then looking at Southwest Virginia, they were led today by Caleb Fuller, 19 points on the day, 4 rebounds. Nelson had 11 points, 9 boards. But Khalil Peoples had the double-double, 12 points, 13 rebounds. Grant Williams, 13 points as well. It was a whole team effort by the Eagles. They had also Looney had scored 13 points, and he had 9 rebounds to go along with that. And then Elijah Pierre, 12 points, 3 boards. So congratulations to David Mullins and the Eagles for getting their 10th win on the year. And we'll see them down the line in the Region 10 tournament.
Yeah, they picked up their 5th Region 10 win. They're 5-13, the 10th seed. The Jaguars continue to struggle in the Region 10. They lose 88-86. Craig, it's been a great year. Jaguars, you know, need to look to make a run in the playoffs if they plan on making a national stage.
You're right about that. And one thing that I did see today is that, you know, there's no quit in this team. They will fight to the very end, and they did have a chance to, you know, we talked about what they needed to do to force regulation and to come back in this game. They darn near did it, and they had a chance right at the very end to tie it up. You know, they tried to play 2 for 1, and it didn't work out for them. So I think maybe next time they may try to rock the clock all the way down, get their 3-pointer, and then you know, live or die with the result in that way. But this one here, a little bit of a heartbreak. You know, so much hope after being down by 12 at halftime. You walk that thing all the way down. You darn near take the lead. You have a chance right at the end, and for it to slip through your fingers like that, just a kick in the gut.
88-86. Thanks a lot, Craig. We'll be back on Tuesday as the Jaguars match up with Guilford Tech right here at the Richard B. Harrison Gymnasium. On behalf of Jaguar Sports Network and High Level Media, we'd like to thank you, the fans, for bringing and making today's game a memorable experience for all the athletes involved, all the coaches, and all the athletic directors. Good night and God bless from Selma.
This copyright telecast may not be reproduced, transmitted, or used in any form without the authorized written consent